John described the woman as clothed with the sun. This analogy refers to the woman's radiance, which John compares to the brightness of the sun. Anciently, the cometary Venus was renowned for its dazzling brightness. Like John, the ancient Chaldeans compared the planet to the sun and described it as a bright torch in the heavens. According to the Chinese, Venus was visible during broad daylight. The comet's brightness rivaled the sun. The Assyrians described Ishtar, meaning Venus, in a similar manner as John. Ishtar was clothed with fire and wore a brilliant crown. Inanna, the Sumerian version of the Venetian goddess, was lauded in poetry for her resplendent light. It was as if she was clothed in radiance. Venus, when in its cometary phase, was ablaze with light, rivaling the sun in brightness. This will be the case when the planet returns to Earth as a comet. As Joseph Smith described it, Venus will grow larger and larger as it approaches the Earth, and when it reaches our planet, it will be in a blaze, lighting up the sky like the sun. The woman stood upon what John calls the moon. Iconographically, the most common representation of the moon is a crescent. But there are representations with the moon itself, often with a crescent to identify the orb as the moon. Historically, there was never any question about the identity of the moon under the feet of the Queen of Heaven. It was a crescent which appeared on the face of Saturn. The moon we see today was not a part of the polar configuration.
In our previous episode, we observed the critical role of a great crescent in the ancient sky. The placement of this crescent on the sphere of an enigmatic body called the primeval sun is one of the unresolved mysteries of the ancient world. The first step in a resolution must be to honor the early historic descriptions of things not seen in our sky today. The crescent had nothing to do with our moon, and the great sphere on which the crescent appeared certainly was not our sun. It was the sphere of the gas giant Saturn, appearing as a massive body visually dominating the sky. Yes, today's sun was present. It was the sun that cast the illuminated crescent on the towering form of Saturn.
With this in mind, our physical layer becomes more complete. In Joseph's revision of John's text, the prophet rearranges some of the verses. Verse 2 remains the same, but John's verse 5 became Joseph's verse 3. The woman gave birth to a male child, which was immediately caught up into heaven. As the woman appears on the scene, she cries due to the travail of birth. The sound is not weeping, but a very loud shrieking sound. The Greek original, translated as cried, is an onomatopoetic term from a raven's cry. Anciently, Venus was known for making ear-piercing shrieks as it traversed the sky. Isis, the Egyptian Venus, for example, let out a shriek when the coffin of Osiris was revealed. She was said to wail like the wind and shriek in tempest. The Greek Aphrodite shrieked aloud as she wandered in the wake of the death of Adonis. The Hindu Kali caused fear with her appearance and piercing shriek. Inanna, the Sumerian Venus, had a shrieking voice that shattered foreign lands. The crying of the woman clothed with the sun will be a piercing shriek, loud enough to fill the heavens and bring fear to the inhabitants of earth.